Yep.
So Sidonia and I have talked about the current layout, and what we've discussed is that we think it should be swapped around. So currently on this side is the bunk, and this side is the bed with the steps here going up into the top part of the bed. So we've measured up the panels and the size of the bed frames, and what we've decided is it's more important that there's access to these wardrobes rather than having one small door here and somebody having to sort of go in underneath the actual bed into the shelving area, which is potentially going to be down here at this end. So what we're saying is we don't want it in the current setup as it is. We want it changing to this. So we want it so that the bunk will be now at this side where there's a chimney, and the window is over here, and this will be the bed where access is available for the wardrobe. So three doors or whatever is set up there, and the steps measured up the width, the gap after the bed has been pushed up to the wall, so there's no more gap at this side as there was currently. The steps are 30 width and the space available is 30 width, so the steps should go in there. So there'll only be one access to the top through those steps, meaning there's no access to this bed above the wardrobe. So we would like access making in the form of ladders or sort of some form of steps, and underneath, obviously in the wardrobes, and there's those shelves which you were proposing to put in. What we obviously looked at, instead of having to move the entire frames, we recognise the sizes of the panels, where it's a case where the panels that are currently in place, for example for the bunk, could be taken off and just moved, unscrewed and switched over. And there's only a few panels that need to be moved, so we'll just have a look at those panels. So obviously this is the one panel currently above the cabin bed and on the bunk, and what we think is obviously this should be then swapped around so that this entrance is at this side, and then there'll be some step access there, and this panel where there's access to the bottom bunk will be taken off